culture, the life, what it really stands for. This music is resistance, it's the voice of the poor. On the side of the workers, the teachers and lunch ladies. On the streets, the brown mommies raising our brown babies.
I'm not cool enough to have ever heard you before, so can you tell me your name and what you usually rap about?
Yeah, my name is Rebel Diaz. This is my brother G1, and together we make the hip-hop group Rebel Diaz. You know what I'm saying? We rap about, power to the people, self-determination, autonomy, dismantling this capitalist system that's oppressing our communities.
You're from 40, 50, 60 blocks up from Donald Trump's tower in New York.
New York is a tale of two cities. You have the rich, which Donald Trump represents, and you have the poor people, which I represent, and which we represent in the South Bronx. You know what I mean? And whenever you have people that live conditions of poverty, and there's culture that comes out of those communities, like the hip-hop that we make, those messages are going to be about resistance, they're going to be about survival, and surviving the oppression that we live on an everyday basis, whether it's police murdering us, whether it's gentrification, whether it's mass incarceration, lack of access to housing, healthcare. We live that every single day. You know what I'm saying? And so we say, we're not down with Trump, we're dumping Trump, dumping Hillary. You know what I'm saying? The two-party system has never represented any of us anyways.
You look at Trump, and one thing he's really done expertly is he's convinced struggling working class people that their struggles are because of Mexicans and because of outsiders instead of because of plutocrats and the two-party system you're talking about. What does it say to you that so many people that are struggling, working two jobs, shitty healthcare, on and on, are convinced he's the answer?
I mean, you can't ignore the culture of this country. It was based on violence. It was based on a genocide, and we still live that today. I mean, there's a reason why there's a Black Lives Matter movement. There's a reason why every 28 hours is still killing black people. And so the reality for us is that whether it's a local struggle or national struggle, what we're talking about is building alternatives. And at the end of the day, we're here today to build with people around us, but the reality is that we're building a local solutions, because at the end of the day, the system's not serving us.
And talk to me about Black Lives Matter, the protest movement, because a lot in the media, even the neutral media now, is making it seem like Black Lives Matter, they're violent, or they're basically just trying to cause mischief, go get a job. You've heard it. It sounds to me like you guys just want to be treated like everybody else.
Look, I'm gonna be clear. The media in this country might as well come out and say that they're the official spokespeople for the state. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything that they put out, is propaganda that puts forth the interests of the ruling elite.
Except the Young Turks.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, we cool with the Young Turks. You know what I'm saying? But overall, you know the media I'm talking about.
We call it the establishment.
Yeah. And so when they come out and like right now the media, if 4 black people go out and protest, it's a Black Lives Matter protest in their eyes. You know what I mean? Black Lives Matter is a movement that really gained its energy from a Ferguson rebellion that came from the hood. That we haven't seen none of them people on CNN, those young 18 to 24-year-olds who set it off in Ferguson, that set it off in Baltimore. You know what I mean? The young people uprising right now in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. You know what I mean? So the media has never really given credit to where credit is due for people that have even brought, whether it's through uprising or whether it's through rebellion, have brought these issues to the forefront. Because we gotta be real, we would not even be talking about none of this if it wasn't for Ferguson and Baltimore. And so I think that really when you look at even the statement, Black Lives Matter, it's not like they're coming out and saying, it's basically saying we just want to live, we want to survive. And I think that it says a lot about the white supremacy in this country, in which people get offended by a simple statement like Black Lives Matter. If all lives did matter, then people wouldn't be saying Black Lives Matter. It's that simple.
And even today, a 4th police officer involved in the Freddie Gray case. Acquitted.
Like all of them. That's the judicial system in this country gives the green light for police to murder us every time that they acquit these police officers. In my neighborhood in the Bronx, where Marley Graham was murdered by NYPD officer Richard Haste. You know what I mean? Inside of his house in front of his grandma and 6-year-old brother. That cop just got a $32,000 raise like a month ago. You feel what I'm saying? And so these are the messages that our community receives every day. That's why people say Black Lives Matter. And I think that we have to also talk about violence, because the state, the U.S. just in general has a monopoly on violence. You know what I mean? We like to say poverty is violence, unemployment is violence, lack of healthcare is violence, gentrification is violence, broken windows policing is violence. That's violent. You know what I mean? And so when we look around here, even in a city like Cleveland, who are the people that are the most heavily armed? Right? Who are the ones that look like they're ready for a war? Okay? So I think that it's also, the media plays its games to might try to make it seem like these random shootings are directly linked to Black Lives Matter movements, and they're not. You know what I mean? And I'll be real, look, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, you know what I'm saying? But if a country is down to blow up 2 twin towers to justify a war overseas, what makes you think that they're not gonna blow up and kill, that they're gonna sweat killing 5 cops just to balance the narrative out?
You think that was an inside job?
I mean, hey, I don't put nothing past them. I don't put nothing past them.
Even if it wasn't an inside job, they're gonna use it for their means. They're gonna use it to benefit their interests. They're gonna use it to criminalize the Black Lives Matter movement. They're gonna use it to increase the fear that they're putting into the white community, thinking that they're losing the privileges that they've historically had. So whether it was or wasn't, it's clear that the media is using it, for their purposes.
What's the way forward? Because you got either a corporatist or a quasi-fascist are going to be the next president. What's the way forward?
The only way forward is building and organizing, political education in our communities. Right now, I'll tell you like this. The only way forward that we see as a community is organizing autonomously and presenting an idea. The idea may not win in our lifetimes, because we're heavily out-armed and heavily outgunned. But if we can set forth an idea as poor people that's going to be a victorious idea for all of us, then that's the only thing that can defeat the system is a powerful idea. And that's what we're working on. I think a lot of times within the system and social media, activists get caught up almost in the same, ideas of capitalism in which you have to constantly be producing. But the system that we're fighting against is patient. We're living right now an economic model that was planted, in Chile and South America as an experiment fucking 40 years ago. And so as a movement, we gotta be a little bit calmer, and not so reactionary. Because right now, we get killed, we protest. We get killed, we protest. So what we like to say is, you can't just oppose, you gotta propose. You can't just oppose, you gotta propose. What does that mean? You know what I'm saying? All right, if we stand up against police brutality and against police murder, but all we're doing is organizing and, we gotta build in our communities. Start planning autonomous community spaces, which there's a space to start building revolution.
Where can people find you guys' music?
Just follow us on all social media at Rebel Diaz, spelled like this. Rebel Diaz all together.
Cool. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thanks, brother.